Yo, what up guys, it's your boy Legendary here, and today people, we are going to be doing a basically updated Dual King Jack Atlas deck, a Red Demons Turbo deck, using all the new support that he just got. I think it was a couple months back, maybe it was last year at this point, I don't know, it was a while ago, but I finally have the new support and I'm going to be showing you guys the deck, how it is now. I'm going to go through the deck first, and then at the end I'll talk about the new cards and how they help the deck, because they do help the deck quite a bit. It's not super broken support like Yusei support, because Yusei always gets the most broken support, but it does help the deck do what it needs to do a lot faster, and I'll explain that at the end. But we're just going to hop into it. So we're going to start off with the extra deck. We're going to be starting off with Red Demons Dragon, his ace. We're going to be doing Red Rising Dragon. This is one of the support cards that he got. This is a reference to one of the 5Ds episodes. I think when he fought one of those robot jacks, and like there was a red demon that was on fire. So this is a reference to that. So this is a support for the anime more so than the manga or anything. So this is for the anime, in my opinion. But Red Rising Dragon, this is a super good card. It really helps out the deck a lot, and I'll explain that at the end. We got Red Nova Dragon, obviously. Then we also have Scarlet Supernova Dragon. I don't have the real card yet. This is a printout, but I got to go buy it. But I have all the other support cards that are real. We have Majestic Red Dragon, Crimson Blader, Exploder Dragon Wing, and Chaos Archfiend. Chaos King Archfiend, sorry. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the extra deck. Very simple. I didn't add the fusion for this build because it's very synchro focused, very Red Dragon focused, so I didn't want to add any of the golem cards that would make the consistency of this deck worse. But yeah, we're going to hop into the monsters. We're going to do the tuners first. We're going to start with good old Dark Resonator, Clock Resonator, Creation Resonator, and the new support card Crimson Resonator. This card is freaking amazing and helps out the deck a lot. I'll explain that at the end, but that card is the best card out of all the new support, next to the evolution of Scarlet Nova Dragon. Then we have Force Resonator, Chain Resonator, Barrier Resonator, and Synkron Resonator. Then we got Top Runner and Influence Dragon, and also Red Nova Dragon along with Majestic Dragon. And that's pretty much all of them right there. All of the tuners. Jack does run tons of tuners, which is good because it powers up Scarlet Nova Dragon, and it also powers up Supernova as well. So yeah, so you're definitely going to need all that. Alright, so now for the main deck monsters. I didn't want to run a lot of high leveled monsters because I wanted to focus mainly on level 4. So the only two high levels we have is Power Giant, because this one's usually pretty good, and Vice Dragon, because you know, you just need another level 3 and then you can Synchro Summon for your ace. But that's pretty much it. Those are the only two. I didn't want to add Big Piece Golem or anything else because I wanted to focus more on the level 4 engine, because this deck runs better with level 4 with the new support, which I'll explain at the end as well. So that, we got those two. We got Mad Archfiend, we got Twin Shield Defender, we got Power Breaker, we got Twin Sword Marauder, we got Red Familiar, one of the new support cards, also very good. We got Lancer Archfiend. We got the anime card Gear Changer. I'll put that on the side for you to read. But this basically is a Cyber Dragon. It special summons itself, which you can use as a synchro material right there, and it can copy the level of a monster on the field. And then we got Battle Fader for the last monster. So that is the monster lineup right there. Mainly a bunch of level 4 monsters, because we're going to need that for the strategy of this deck, which is very simple. It's a very simple strategy, and I'll tell you about that in a bit. Then for the spell cards, we have Resonator Call. You definitely need this because you're going to need to search for that Crimson Resonator. We got Resonator Command. This card also searches for a Fiend monster. I'll explain that at the end as well. We got Resonator Engine. We also have Scarlet Security, Red Dragon Vase. Use the anime effect, which is better. You just draw 2. There's no restriction or anything. And then there's Double Summon. That's it. He doesn't run too many spell cards, to be honest. It's mostly a bunch of traps similar to Yusei. Alright, so we're going to be getting into the chop cards. The chop cards is very simple. It's just a bunch of Red Dragon support. We got Red Cocoon. We have Red Carpet. We have Red Rain, the new support card. We have Red Screen. We have Synchro Deflector. We have Descending Lost Star. We have Half or Nothing. We have Powerful Rebirth. We have Fiendish Chain. And then some anime cards. We have Break Tune right here. Basically just negates an attack and special summons a tuner. We have Burning Rebirth. You basically distribute one level 8 or higher dragon, synchro monster, and then special summon Red Dragon from the graveyard. And I think it also brings the monster that you banished back when this is removed from the field, something like that. But you guys can read it on the side. And then we got Dimension Switch. This is basically similar to Interdimensional Transporter, where it banishes a monster and brings it back. But this is even better than that, because you could banish it and then bring it back right away. It doesn't come back at the end phase, and you can trigger this whenever you want. You could do the switch on and off whenever you want. And that's pretty much it for all the trap cards, spell cards, and monsters in the main deck. We're going to do the side deck real quick, and then we're going to hop into the new cards, what they do, and how they help out the deck. So we have Flare Resonator on the side, we got Mirror Resonator, we have Synchron Magnet, we have a Vase Berserker, we have Ogre of the Scarlet Sorrow, and we have Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode. So if you want to add that in the main deck, if you really want to make this a full-on turbo Red Dragon Archfiend deck, which is what this is, if you want to find room for it, go right ahead. I don't know what you're going to take out for it, but if you want to make room for it, you can. We got Resonant Destruction, and we have Mystical Space Typhoon. And then for the trap cards, we have 2 anime cards, Burning Strike, which just gives a monster piercing, and then we have Tuner's Mind as well. You could read that card on the side right there. And then we have Urgent Tuning, we have Interdimensional Transporter, we have Changing Destiny, Shadow Spell, and Assault Mode activates, which you will need for Assault Mode Red Dragon Archfiend. And that's pretty much it for the side deck right there. The deck list for this will be in the description, so if you're not sure, you don't remember what cards or whatever, it'll be in the description. You can copy it. It's perfectly fine. But yeah, that will be it right there. So we are going to get into the new support cards, and I'm going to be talking about what they do and how they help out Jack's deck quite a bit. Okay, so these are the new cards we're going to be talking about in this video right now. Basically, all this stuff helps you summon not only Red Dragon Archfiend faster, because one of Jack's weaknesses in his deck is that it's so focused on his ace, but his deck is not very good at summoning his ace. Like, the levels are all over the place. The effects don't quite work to bring out Red Dragon Archfiend that fast. His deck is very slow at bringing out his ace, and that's his entire strategy. But this new support helps out so much. So I'll get into it. First, starting with the best card of all, Crimson Resonator. This card is amazing. If you control no monsters, you can special summon it onto the field. And then if you control a Dark Dragon Synchro monster on the field, you can special summon 2 Resonators, I believe, from your hand or deck. Yes, from your hand or deck. So it's amazing. It allows you to go into double tuning and triple tuning, because you don't have to tribute this card. So you could have 3 tuners on the field along with the Dark Synchro that you have. So basically the combo is very simple. It's a 2-card combo. You mainly just need this card and any level 4 monster. That's why I focused the main deck mostly on level 4 monsters. It doesn't matter if it's Fiend or anything. It doesn't really matter as long as it's level 4. But try to have Fiends in there more so, because Resonator Command, the quick play spell card, you can discard a Resonator to search out a level 4 lower Fiend from your deck to your hand, and it's a quick play. So this will allow you to set up your graveyard with Resonators while also searching out your level 4 lower Fiends. So that's why I added a bunch of level 4 lower Fiends that he has, so that way you can search it out with Resonator Command, special summon this, summon a level 4 Fiend. This card is also a level 4 Fiend, Red Familiar. So you need this and any level 4. You Synchro Summon into Red Rising Dragon. Red Rising Dragon's effect is when it's Synchro Summon, you can target a Resonator monster in your graveyard and special summon it. But you can't summon other monsters other than Dark Synchro monsters, which is fine, Dark Dragon Synchro monsters. And then during your main phase, except to turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card to target 2 level 1 Resonator monsters in your graveyard and special summon them. So I think I only have 1. Okay, so no, we have 3. We have 3 level 1s, so that's perfectly fine. So we have enough targets for that last effect, which is good. But yeah, we could target 2 of them in the graveyard and special summon them by banishing this card from the graveyard. But anyway, the main thing is you tune with these 2 or this and any other level 4. You summon Red Rising. You bring back Crimson Resonator. You activate Crimson Resonator's other effect. Its other effect is while you control a Dark Synchro monster, its effect will allow you to special summon 2 other Resonators from your hand or deck. So you have 2 options, right? You can either go for Dark Resonator, for example, and let's say Chain Resonator, right? Let's say that. Say you go for those 2, then you Synchro Summon these 2 together to summon your Ace Red Dragon Archfiend, and then you double tune right there to go into your Red Nova Dragon. So the new support made it so easy to summon this card. Before it was very hard to get to. It was hard to get to the Ace, and then also hard to get into Red Nova Dragon. But the best 2 cards are these 2 cards, because they allow you to go into it. Honestly, if it wasn't for Red Rising Dragon's existence, this play would not even be possible. Because even though Crimson Resonator is great, it's only great because Red Rising Dragon brings this card back and then allows you to special summon them. So you could tell these cards were meant to work together. This came out from a different set entirely. I think this came from a Shonen Jump promo, but you can tell that they synergize and work well together, like they're supposed to be together. So you do that, or the second option could be once you've special summon Red Rising Dragon, you special summon Crimson Resonator, summon your 2 tuners right there, and then go for a triple tuning and Synchro Summon for your Scarlet Supernova Dragon right there. That's how you summon it right there, because that would all add up to level 12. So that's another way to do it as well. The other new support card we got was Red Familiar. Its effect is you contribute 1 Fiend monster to target 1 Dark Synchro monster in your graveyard and special summon it in defense. So it allows you to bring back your Red Dragon Archfiend or your Scarlet Nova Dragon or whatever from the graveyard, which is good. So it contributed itself to summon another one. You can banish this card from the graveyard, target 1 Dark Synchro monster you control, declare level from 1 to 8, and it becomes that level until the end of the turn. So this card is good because you could banish it to target the level of, let's say for example, Scarlet Nova Dragon, who's a 12, and make it choose a level from 1 to 8, and it'll become that level. This is good because it helps you manipulate levels. So let's say you have Red Dragon Archfiend on the field, and let's say you used a couple of your tuners and they're already in the graveyard and you have the wrong levels. You special summon whichever tuners you want from the deck. Let's say, for example, let's say we had 2 level 3s, right? This is obviously an off level, so we got a 6 and an 8. This is 16 in total, so you need to subtract 4 from that, so you can target Red Dragon Archfiend, banish Red Familiar to make this card a level 4, and then Synchro Summon to summon your Supernova Dragon or your Red Nova Dragon, and that's pretty much it. But yeah, that's how that new support helps out a lot. This helps search, this helps special summon all your tuners, and then you just need any other level 4, and then if you use this card, this helps you manipulate levels to make Red Dragon Archfiend the level that you need to go for your double or triple tuning, which is amazing. And then the final card here is Red Rain. This is a pretty busted trap card too. Its effect is if you control a level 8 or higher synchro monster, banish all monsters on the field except monsters with the highest level. Also, the remaining face-up monsters on the field are unaffected by your opponent's card effects except their own until the end of this turn. If a Dark Synchro monster is synchro summoned to your field while this card is in your graveyard, you can add this card to your hand. But yeah, so this is powerful. Literally, it just, if you control Red Dragon Archfiend or any of its evolutions on the field, you get to just banish everything, which is freaking insane. Anything that's a lower level than it, so it literally banishes anything that's weaker than it, which is really cool. And this also like makes sure that all monsters on the field are unaffected by other card effects as well. That includes your own and your opponent, so it could end up helping your opponent too, but I guess that's just there to kind of like avoid like tricky situations or whatever. But this is just powerful alone, just for the whole banish everything else that's weaker than it. So very powerful. Alright, sorry guys, this is edited after the fact, but I forgot to actually read the effect of Scarlet Supernova Dragon. I read all his other support except for this, so I'm going to read it real quick for you guys. This requires 3 tuners and 1 or more non-tuners, so it's the first triple tuning card, which is really awesome. This is a level 12 by the way. 4,000 attack, 3,000 defense. Its effect reads, it must first be synchro summoned. Gains 500 attack for each tuner in your graveyard. Cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Once returned, when an opponent's monster effect is activated or during an opponent's monster's attack declaration quick effect, you can banish this card and all cards your opponent controls. If this card was banished by its own effect during the next end phase, special summon this banished card. So this is very powerful. He still has the standard effects from Red Nova Dragon. Can be destroyed by card effects. Gains 500 for each tuner. But basically now, if he gets attacked or if you activate a monster effect, he can just banish himself to banish all of your opponent's monsters, which is good. Not a lot of monsters have effects where they are protected from being banished. So this card is very powerful for that. The only downside with this card is it gets special summoned during your next end phase. So basically that means that you don't get it during the end phase that this was activated, you get it during your next one. So if you activate this card during your opponent's turn to negate a monster effect, for example, then when your turn starts, he won't come back until the end phase of that turn. So he comes back a little too late, in my opinion. That's the only downside, but everything else is great. He has protection, he gains a lot of power, and then on top of that, he can just freaking banish himself to banish all your opponent's monsters. So he takes everything with him and then he comes back later. So a very powerful card. But yeah, sorry, I just forgot to read this card. But anyway, we're gonna continue off. Okay, so there's one small issue with this deck that you might have noticed already, and that issue is how do you summon Majestic Red Dragon with this deck? The only level 1 monster I control in the deck is Battle Fader. So the question is how you summon Majestic Red Dragon if you only have one level 1. Basically, it's with Red Familiar. He'll allow you to manipulate the level of Red Dragon Archfiend into whatever you need. So if you had Red Dragon Archfiend on the field, let's say you have Majestic Red Dragon on the field, plus let's say any other monster, let's say your Power Breaker you have on the field. Obviously the levels are way too high for 10. We have 13 here, so we need to go down by 3. So you banish Red Familiar from the graveyard, target Red Dragon Archfiend, and make him a level 5. So now 5 and 4 is 9, and then you got the 10, and there you go. So that's how you summon Majestic Red Dragon in this deck, even though you don't have a lot of level 1s in your main deck. Red Familiar will help you manipulate the levels to what you need. So there you go. This card is actually pretty good because it helps you fix an error in case if you have the wrong levels. I hope you enjoyed this deck profile, guys. Thank you guys for watching. This is how Jack Atlas's new support helps out his deck quite a lot to do what it needs to do. Its major weakness was summoning all of its synchros and doing its big plays, but now it can do it a lot easier. You just basically have to get to Crimson Resonator as fast as possible and use any level 4, go into Rising Dragon, bring back Crimson, summon a bunch of Resonators, and then double tune or triple tune from there. So you're solid. It's super easy. But yeah, that's the new support. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for watching. God bless you guys. See you guys in the next video. Gotcha!